Welcome to LIS754, Systems Analysis and Design, and in this short video we are going to talk about how we can manage the requirements process. We need to manage the requirements process because there is a common phenomenon that happens on software development projects called scope creep or feature creep. That is, we start with an idea of what a system should do, and everyone we talk to in our requirements gathering says, oh, and then the system should do this, and then the system should do that. So if we're thinking about doing a billing system, all of a sudden we may be doing a complete inventory system because the inventory system doesn't work very well. People want a new system. That is, when that happens, we are talking, that's the problem we're talking about, scope creep or feature creep. And it's true that on every project, we will find requirements that are going to change, that are going to, we'll think of halfway through the project, we'll think of a better way to do things, and that's fine, but we still need to be able to manage this process. We want to have a systematic way of eliciting, organizing, and documenting the requirements. And so we've talked about that in terms of eliciting, organizing, and documenting, but how are we going to manage change requests? What happens when people make changes? We need to change. If a requirement changes, it's really important to track that those things have been changed. Who makes a decision that a requirement should be changed? So if everyone's agreed that our billing system is going to calculate the due date in a specific way, and somebody comes up later and says, oh, well, maybe we should do it a different way, and that requirement is changed, someone needs to approve that. There needs to be a bigger discussion. And when something changes in a requirement, there is a ripple effect through the entire project. So if I am changing how we are calculating the due date for a bill, I may need different data for that. That may require a change to the data model. It may require a change to the text in the bills. It may require different parameters for how we send out bills. I mean, it can have a very big effect. One small change can have a really big effect. So it's really important to have a process by which changes to requirements are managed. How we get those changes, how we decide if we're going to implement those changes, and how we communicate those changes both to management and to the people doing the project work. Requirements management generally means that there needs to be a single channel of change control. There needs to be a single group of people who work together, who decide, a committee or a group that make a decision whether a change should be implemented or not. Often this is called a change control board, especially in a large project. You get a systems control board. It usually consists of senior managers, probably senior software developers, one or two, and the project manager. And the goal is to track the history of the requirements. The goal is to approve changes. The goal is to understand the implications of any of those changes. And so we want to maintain version control. So if you have already viewed the video on use cases, you might remember that there is a field in that, or a space on that template for version, the version of this use case. That's what we're talking about, making sure that we know that a change has happened to a use case, or that a change has happened to a database design document, that we have some way of numbering um, those changes. And so often a, a numbering system will be developed. So while before things have been released, you can have a 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 within the team that's developing the use case. But once it's been viewed by the public or the wider community in the organization, you would have a 1 dot something. So version 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.2.2, those kinds of numbering systems to know what the version is that you're working on. It is important for everyone who works on the project to know if a new version has come out. It is the responsibility of all the people on the team to check that they have the most current version of any use case. It's how a project manager, it's how an organization can maintain quality control, quality of the deliverables, quality of the project, meeting a project within time and cost. All right, well, if you have any questions about this, let me know. I'll be talking to you soon.